Hi there, welcome to the Tuesday vlog. I hope your long weekend has been a blessing. It's Monday here now and it's quite blowy and blustery out there, but I pray that you've been able to get time with family and friends in your gardens or out and about and just spent some quality time and recharge the batteries. I'm just going to very briefly say 9 sources of information. What information? Yeah, how we find out that what we think we should be doing is correct. I'm going to put aside quick decisions. If you look to see that there's a lorry coming, you make a decision not to cross the road. You know, I'm not going anywhere near any of that sort of things. This is where you've got to make decisions perhaps over times, where you've got information that's coming in. How do you weigh it up? Well, the first of the 9, of course, is the most important. It is the Bible. It's the absolute authoritative guidance, and every time that should be where we go to check about what is going on. But the Lord has blessed us with other areas as well where we can learn how to weigh up things that are going on, gain information to make ourselves choices. So the second one is information from studying the situation. In Luke 14, 28 to 32, there's a whole bit here of where it's being talked about. One is if you're going to build a tower, then you make sure you've got all the resources. It's silly to even start it without having the measure of knowing that you've got the people to build it, the materials, the finances, etc. I'm not saying God won't provide. What I'm saying is we are wise to plan for doing anything. So from information of the subject, there's another part in that very same reading where a war king goes out to fight and the enemy are double the size. So he has to weigh up the ability of the ground, his men against the men that he's opposing, and would it be better in fact to sue for peace? So you weigh up everything, you gain information from what's going on. And that's of course the same whether or not you've got to have a medical situation where you've got to deal with, maybe education, you've got to work out what's best for your children or for yourself, going to night school, but also jobs and marriage and ministry opportunities. So important. When I first went into chaplaincy, I wasn't expecting it, and I kept getting a series of questions or adverts with regards to Havens hospices. Well, I had to weigh that all up, and I did it in various ways, but one of them certainly was to look up the ministry within there. Because there's consequences from all our choices, isn't it? So if we know, it's a little bit better. Also, we have to look at ourselves, information of ourselves, your skills, your abilities, but your desires as well. So if you can't play the piano but you want to become a musician, that doesn't mean because you haven't got that skill you don't go for it. Have you got the information of yourself that you can study for a music exam, to learn an instrument and to carry on and know that that's within your abilities? Advice from others is extremely important. We say within the body, relationship is key. Get someone to disciple you, someone you can be accountable to. So pick on wise friends and talk to them about the issue that you're facing and get their wisdom and their experience perhaps and thoughts. Spiritual leaders within the body, but you can also look at books. There's nothing wrong, especially with the topics of faith. If you want to know more about whether or not you should take up, let's say, healing, there's plenty of books, and we stand on the shoulders of others that have gone before. And especially if you were wanted to start a home group, there are books on how to do home groups. It explains to you the pluses and minuses, the pitfalls that can be there. There's nothing wrong with taking that on and then weighing it up and saying, yes, I could or couldn't do this. Change circumstances. In Matthew 10:14, it says, if you've been into that place and you're not received, the peace is not given, you're not very well liked or loved, knock the dust off from your sandals and move on elsewhere. So that's where the circumstances are not good. If a door opens, you can go through it. If you feel in your heart, we'll go on to heart actually, that's being opened by God, then also when it closes, be aware the circumstances change. You can't go that way. What should I do? That's information that you've taken on. You mustn't go that way. Your conscience, it's instinctive that we have a sense of right and wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. We know it is wrong to do certain things. But our conscience can be weak as well. Even though we know something is right or wrong, we don't necessarily fulfill and follow what our conscience says. So it's important then to turn to the heart. It's another wonderful way. God said, I will write my laws on their hearts. Yeah, oh, wow. Your relationship with God is so key. And so your heart has been changed all the time. It's not perfect yet, but it's changing since you gave your life to Jesus. So this is even deeper than the conscious. You're right and wrong that you feel because of what the Lord is writing in your heart. It can be said to a heart to give. You know, that's in the Bible. Don't just give money. Give it from your heart. What do you deeply want to do? What is deeply in your heart is important. So if someone came to me for advice and they said something like, I think I want to go to Uganda, and I'm not saying that I'd be the arbiter on whether you should go, but what I would say is, what's deep in your heart about it? What is your deep passion? Why do you want to take up that role in a hospital? Why do you want to go into education? Is that deeply in your heart? Because quite often God will write on your heart his desires for you, knowing what your passions are. A person's human spirit. You see, when we're dead, we know that our spirit is still alive. So there's no reason why the human spirit cannot also talk to you or give you information as to what is going on and whether you should make a choice. In Paul, in 2 Corinthians 2:12-13, part of it he says, is my spirit was not at rest. My spirit is not at rest. And even Jesus a couple of times, is said in Mark 2, it says his spirit was not right. And another time he had issues in his spirit. He has feelings in his spirit. But of course, the Holy Spirit as well is the other guide that we've got, and will give you personal direction. Is probably one of the main ways I think I get direction from is the Holy Spirit. For all who are led by the Spirit of God are the sons of God, and that's in Romans 5 and 5:14. Now, the thing is, those last four, the conscience, heart, human spirit and Holy Spirit, if someone who was non-believer got those, that would probably be a feeling that was a hunch, a nudge, just a feeling within me. We as faith believers know that God can talk to us in all these different ways, and he has given us a good conscience, a good heart, working on our heart to improve. But of course you can mix these up. I would say not just to stick with some of these latter parts, especially your conscience, if the important decision you've got to make is life-changing. I mentioned Uganda before. If you were going to travel to Uganda for 6 months to work with the children out there or something like that, I would say you'd like to, there's nothing wrong with weighing all these things up. Going to the Bible, is it right? Yes, you can read straight away that we go out and help, don't we? And they love our neighbours, etc. But there's more. This is where perhaps wise people come alongside you, maybe your accountability, spiritual leaders. So you can use a mix and match. If it's something that's just a one-off, then you might just go to one of these areas or just feel in your heart, it's right for me. I hope this has blessed you, perhaps made some clarity for you. I know it's quick and very fast that I've gone through this. So remember, Bible is always number one. The others you can do in whatever order you want. Information from studying the situation, info about yourself, advice from others, changes in circumstances, your conscience, your heart, your human spirit, and the Holy Spirit. You'll get your answers. You'll know what to do. And I'll bless you mightily on this lovely week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.